again, that wild card weekend was not really so wild. I mean, there was some blowouts that we talked about the Dallas game, but there were some other blowouts that just wasn't what we thought. I don't think Miami was ready for that conditions out at KC. They didn't look like the Miami that we've seen during the year.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh. But they almost had a chance to make it come back a little bit. I was getting a little worried about that. When they went in the locker room down 14, then came back out, had a chance to score. They had some opportunities, but I think the better team there definitely won.
Oh yeah, I got to give it to the better team. And out of all the teams that played this weekend at home, all the home team won their games except one. That was my Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean that's like a.
And that was a disappointment to me for them to be able to make it to the first round and go and play it at home and to look forward to the next week to play another game.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I know that some of the games were not as exciting as we maybe thought or wanted, but I tell you, there were some good individual performances. So whether you like them or don't like them, Josh Allen played a strong game. Like I was watching him, he's 6'4", 240 pounds. And when he broke through and ran that one run, I think they gave up thinking like he was going to go down soft, but he drove right through that. He went right through that roadblock.
Yes, he pulled one.
But I will tell you, as much as I thought that was an amazing play, because he is a dual threat quarterback, which makes it tough on defenses. But I don't know if you watched that catch from Shakir that he made it into the end zone, put his hand down, backed up, and reversed. Just really some great play by a lot of folks out there. And I will tell you, it's only going to get better this weekend, I think. I think that the Rams in Detroit was the only game, really, that kept you on the edge of your seat. And it really had a pretty good script to it. I hate to use that word because there's all these idiots out there trying to act like the NFL scripted and it's already preconceived and predetermined. I don't believe none of that. But here's what I know. Them Detroit fans wasn't happy to see Stafford come back. I mean, he got booed from the start to the finish, but I will tell you this. They can say what they want about Stafford. He's a tough dude, man. He had 2 holes in his hand. I don't know if you saw that when they zoomed in on it. He hit his throwing it and hit it against the helmet, and I'm telling you, man, it was nasty looking. He put some tape on that mug and came right back in there. And I tell you, it was a great game, 1-point game. I think it was 24-23. I think it was 22-23. All right, yeah. So it was tight down to the wire, and I wasn't sure, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I was pulling for them Lions after, I ain't gonna call no names, but what happened to them over there in Dallas, I wanted them to make sure they had a fair chance at it. But I was surprised. There was a couple calls during this. There's been every week there's been some controversy about referees in the NFL. And people are getting a little upset about that, and it's crazy. But hopefully they don't let it make or decide the game. So let's go through the games this week, Steve, see who we got. So first up this week, it's going to be the Houston Texans, and they're playing the Baltimore Ravens. The Houston Texans are getting 9.5 points. What you think about that?
I'm going to tell you, I got to give it to that kid.
C.J. Stroud?
C.J. Stroud.
Hey, he was a kid at the first of the season. He's a grown man now.
Yes.
He ain't playing.
He played like he been in the NFL a lot longer than just this year from the way he plays. And I wouldn't count him short on any team that he plays. He going to put forth the effort of a Super Bowl champion player.
Man, what a great draft that they had. And not just C.J. Stroud, but listen, they got a couple of receivers that nobody really heard of during the year, and all of a sudden, where do these people come from? And, there's several of those in the league. The folks from L.A., the McCall or whatever, and, Tank Dell and all the other people in Houston. I mean, here are all the Green Bay Packers. Their people get injured, and they just throw 3 more people in there, rookies, and gosh dang, there's like 3 or 4 great rookie tight ends. You got Ferguson, you got Laporta on the Detroit Lions. Like this rookie class was a really strong rookie class and had some immediate impact on these teams. Yeah, it was crazy how good some of those folks were. And I'm a Bucks fan, and I swear last night watching the game, I'm like, who's that guy they're throwing the ball to? I mean, Evans, oh, he dropped about 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yes, he
It
did.
had my nerves tore up bad. So, but I will tell you that some of those rookies have stepped up and they're playing. And C.J. Stroud probably is the leader of the pack on that. But I'm going to say this: it is biased, but I would love for somebody to challenge me on it and tell me something different. I truly believe that Baker Mayfield is the comeback player of the NFL this year. I don't know anybody else that came back and accomplished more. And I'm not saying he's done great, but, I don't think they had any expectations of making it to the playoffs or anything.
I don't think so either.
And what he's done is he kind of reminds me of like a Trent Dilfer kind of guy that just don't go in there and screw it up. Don't make mistakes. Don't turn the ball over. Don't do this. But, he was a little banged up coming into the game. But, they only got him for like $1 million, which, for me and you, Steve, that's pretty good. But for all them other people making that money, $1 million, he's going to get paid. And he did. I will say this, because they made it to the playoffs, it doubled his salary. He got another $1 million for that. But still, that was a heck of a deal.
Well, when he was at Carolina, he took a beating.
Yeah.
And he didn't really get to prove himself to be the player that he's showing himself now.
And I feel the same way about Bryce as I would about what you're saying about Baker Mayfield. I know he catches a hard time, and everybody's like, C.J. Stroud's doing this. C.J. Stroud's got a line. C.J. Stroud's got a defense. They're in much better position than the Panthers, and I know that everybody but I don't think you're going to know what their quarterback's going to do until they get some help, and they need a lot of help.
They need a lot of help. They really
do. So, all right. So, who you picking? Bucks, 9.5 points against the Ravens. So, what I'm worried about is MVP. It's going to be Lamar, blah, blah, blah. It's this. And listen, he's had a great year. Tremendous athlete. I think he has improved 1,000% on throwing the football and making good decisions. But traditionally, he has not really shown great performances in the playoffs. And now they've been sitting for a week. They should be really prepared for who they're playing. How do you think this game's going to go? 9.5 points.
Well, I think it's not going to be that big of a spread on it, because I know you're playing a rookie against a veteran. And when you got a veteran out there, he's been there and done what the rookie's trying to get there to do. And dealing with that situation there, he's supposed to come out really better than the rookie does. And that's why I say, with this rookie they playing against, he's playing at a high level. And
he's playing calm. Yes. Like, he's not excitable. He's not this. He's not that. So I think that somebody said this on the game the other night, and they were talking about the Dallas game, and what they said was the only thing that would concern me or worry me is if the Packers come out early and get a couple scores. Then it changes everything. So I think that if Houston comes out early, goes down the field and puts 7 on the board, I will tell you that it makes everybody get a little tighter.
And it's been proven this year, with the first team that comes out and drive the ball down the field and score, they've mostly been the one that ended up winning the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's I will tell you, it makes everybody else a little tense. If you don't think when the Packers came out and scored the first touchdown and Dallas kind of said, well, we better step it up. Well, then when they scored another touchdown, they're like, oh no, what we got going on here? And like it just kept building. It's like you're carrying a 600-pound weight on your back trying to get it off of you. And the harder you try, then the next thing is a pick six, or it's this or it's that. So, all right, the next game, the Packers. The Packers against the number 1 seed, San Francisco 49ers. The Packers are 10-point underdogs. What you think?
10 points.
It's a lot of points in the NFL.
I believe it's going to be a close ball game in there.
So,
the Packers defense is playing really good. They got a good running game. They also have a good quarterback that stepped up in the plate after Rodgers left, that people didn't really know who Love really was.
No, I tell you, he stood up tall though, and you talking about some wide open receivers. I don't think that those receivers are going to be as wide open as they were the other night. And so I want to go through the weapons and the good stuff that each team has. So the Packers has good quarterback play. They're able to run the football, obviously. And they got some unknown receivers that are just showing up. I mean, Reed went nuts. Then you got, tight ends going big. I mean, they got Wicks showing up, scoring a touchdown. I mean, he scored like 3 or 4 games in a row a touchdown, and those guys just came out of nowhere. So, but let's talk about those 49ers. I think they probably have the best defense in the NFL, them and the Ravens. And I think that they have a strong running game, but I hadn't heard any updates on CMC. I don't know if McCaffrey's all healed up. He supposedly pulled a calf 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you ever pulled a calf, but it takes a little while to heal up. So we'll see what happens. But for me, the guy, I don't know who's going to stop him, but if they let Debo get loose, he's going to just take over. I mean, you got Debo, you got Ayuk, you got Kittles. They got weapons everywhere you turn. To me, of all those people, the person I would worry the most about is, does the game get too tight for Purdy? I mean, he still don't have a lot of experience. He seems to be very calm. But again, how you going to be if they throw a quick score on you? That's one way.
Well, one thing with Purdy, when he's being pressured from the blitz, he sometimes he starts throwing the ball any direction he can get it into.
Just get it out of his hand.
Yes, because he don't want to take that hit.
Yeah.
In that sport there, you got to man up.
Yeah, and it can happen to anybody. So I watched Flacco the other night. He was playing in Cleveland. I would never have thought that. I thought they were going to come out and do good and do this. Had a good start, but he started getting tight. He threw one backwards.
Yes,
he just panics, and so a lot of them do that. But I would say if Purdy can stay level and calm, it's probably going to be a bashing. But if not, and they leave that door open, I'm telling you right now that the Packers will sure kick it down and try to go through it.
I believe the game score going to run in the 20s. It's going to be 21-27, I believe.
So we taking the 10 points is what I'm hearing.
49.
Yeah, 10 points, man. I'm telling you, that's a lot in a second round.
Yes.
In the second round of playoffs, and that's crazy.
But mind me, now these bookies, they know more about what's going on the inside than we know.
I think they're just trying to get everybody on the wagon, but they're going to trim that thing down sometime later this week. Green Bay ain't playing that. Flip says Green Bay will not play that good again. But I will tell you, them cheeseheads now, they all crazed up. They riled up now. I mean, you can hear them and see them coming. All right, so the next one, this is a tough one for me because it's really fun to watch the Lions play. And it's hard not to pull for the Lions, but they're playing my Bucks, and the Bucks are the underdog by 6 points. 6 points. Is that enough?
Yeah.
I wouldn't take that bet.
No, I wouldn't take that bet either. Just watch the way they played the Rams as far as on the defense side of the ball, besides the offense. They really played a solid-nosed football game. Man,
they got Laporta, they got Reynolds, they got all these people, and Jahmyr Gibbs, man, out of the backfield. I think he's going to be, I think it's going to be a tough task for the Bucks to do that. The good news is, though, it's in a dome.
Yes.
I think the speed is going to play to the advantage of the Rams. Evans ain't got no speed. He's about my age and your age, Steve, and he's just taller than people and tries to get jump balls, and then sometimes he don't even catch them whenever they do throw it to him. So,
if he's my age, he better go sit down.
Evans cannot. He cannot drop 2 or 3 balls like he did the other night. And the thing about the Lions to me is when they get close, they punch it in. Buccaneers drive the ball down the field, look great, and be like 3rd down and 1 on the 3-yard or 1st down and on the 3-yard line and can't get in the end zone and have to kick them field goals. And how about them kickers, man? Do you see them kickers missing extra points?
Man.
So I will tell you, the Lions kicker missed an extra point. That was his 6th miss for the season. I don't know how you can stay and keep being the kicker if you miss 6 extra points.
Well,
that can bite them, I'm telling you.
I used to think that, kicking for 3 points is not something that a team need to do as far as to try to, to win a ball game. But I found out it only take 1 point to win that ball game.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to those kickers when they get up there to kick that ball.
Hey, I will tell you one more thing I've noticed this year is some people, the Lions are the main ones. They go for it on fourth down all the time now.
Oh, yes.
They ain't playing.
Oh, yes.
The Lions, if it's fourth down and less than 2 or 3, they going for it. But
Oh, yes.
I don't know how that one's going to go. I'm a little nervous about that, but you got to play the game. The last one, it'll be the biggest game.
I got a question on Evans.
Yeah.
Is he coming up for a contract or they?
So everything he's done since he's old is 1 year contract stuff. But he earned his money this year. The amount of yardage that he got this year and touchdowns, he earned every bit of it. And he's still kind of a no-name to everybody else. But I'm telling you, if you look at his stats through the years, most 1,000-yard seasons, I think he's probably done it 13, 14 years in a row. I mean, and he still gets open. Yeah. I mean, he was open 2 or 3 times the other night. But
when they had Brady, Brady loved him.
Oh yeah. But I'll tell you, the person that's got to step up for them is Godwin. He's my favorite. But I think he's got to step up. We'll see. And the biggest game of the weekend is going to be obviously the Kansas City Chiefs against the Bills. Now, we're going to talk about that weather in a minute, but the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bills, it's at Buffalo. Now, them people are crazy. Did you see the stadium like hours before?
Man, did I?
Man, it was crazy. They couldn't pay me $20.
The fans was shoveling the snow.
Yeah, and when they score, they throwing all that snow up in the air. I don't know that KC looked good. Listen, KC looked as good this weekend as they have probably the whole season. I don't know if they got focused. I don't know if they ate their Wheaties. I don't know what they did, but they were clicking on all cylinders. But I think to beat the Buffalo Bills, they're going to have to click on all cylinders. But last year or the year before, it might be the best football game I've ever watched in the NFL. That was the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bills. It was crazy, and I think it's going to be just like that. It's a 2.5-point spread. The Chiefs are the underdog, and they're going into Buffalo. It'll be cold, but it ain't going to be as cold as it was at Kansas City the other night.
I believe Buffalo is going to take the win over that.
Yeah, and they might. But I will tell you, it's going to be a late night game. I think it starts at 6:30. The Bucs game's at 3, and then that game comes on at 6:30. So it'll be interesting to see. So we're going to take another quick break. Go ahead, Steve.
And I think the turnover is going to play a factor in that game, a big factor, because really, you take Allen. Josh liked to throw the ball.
Man, listen, he can do great things, but all of a sudden he can turn that ball over in a hurry.
Yes, he can.
He runs wild. He throws wild. He takes chances.
Yes.
So, that'll be interesting. We'll see, but one turnover in that game could cost you the game.
Oh, yes.
For sure. All right, we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back on the flip side. Flip's Barbershop Sports Talk. Come back and listen. KJ, first of all, folks, listen up. We're honored to have KJ Henry here on the show with us today, one of our locals, and we always like to support those folks, and it's always good. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us for a few minutes, KJ. Hope everything's going good with you.
It's going well. It's going really well.
All right, so we get, there's a bunch of hurt feelings out there around the world right now, and the Cowboys are all sulking, and now here we go. The Eagles are all bye. Eagles bye. That's your conference up there. So, what do you think about that? Did you expect either one of those to happen?
I mean, it's playoff football, man. So I feel like you have any expectations, that's when you can get upset. Like you said, it's my division, so I'm fairly happy with what I've been seeing.
Yeah, me too. I ain't gonna lie to you because it's hard for nobody in that division pulls for anybody. So I'm a Buccaneers fan my whole life, and all year I had to hear that the Super Bowl champ was coming out of the NFC East, and so everybody made fun of the poor little NFC South, the Panthers and the Falcons and the Saints and the Bucs. But hey, my Bucs are still in it, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna run through these games. So we got the first one up is Houston, the Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens. What do you see in that game happening?
Yeah, I just think the Ravens are a little bit too good right now. They're hitting a hot streak, and as good as Houston looked, versus Cleveland, I think the road ends here definitely with the Ravens, coming out on top with that one.
Yeah, the Ravens, man, they're strong in a lot of different ways. Offensively, they got a lot of options, and defensively, they create problems.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So.
Yeah, and that's a 9.5 point spread too. I thought that was high, but them people know what they're talking about. I don't know if Houston can play as good as they played last week again this week, but I also wonder a little bit that time off sometimes affects people. And as much as I admire and respect Lamar, I don't know that the playoff football has been his forte just yet.
Yeah, not just yet. But I think this is the best he's looked up to this point. So. He knows that too, so I think he's going to be ready to prove some people wrong.
I believe that 100%. He did it all year, and I will tell you, I'm a big Lamar fan. Kudos to him, and I think that you're exactly right. All right, how about this on the Packers, 10 points down, and to the San Francisco 49ers?
I think they'll cover that spread, but I do think the 49ers will end up winning. The Packers showed me a lot last time they went on the field, so. We'll see. I mean, it'll definitely be a good game, I think. But yeah, I see the 49ers coming out with that one.
Yeah, I do too. I think they're well-rounded. They got a very strong defense. They got all kind of options on offense, and as long as Purdy can steady the ship on them, I think, and he can hold up, then I think they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 2 to go. My Bucks. Against the Lions, the Bucks are getting 6 points, and the Lions have played really well pretty much all season.
Yeah, this could be the upset one.
I like the way you're talking, KJ.
This could be the upset one, man. I don't know. The Bucks looked really good last night, and the way they're just swarming and causing havoc for a lot of teams. I think they're consistent, and the Lions, they had a few mistakes here and there. Obviously, they are a well-rounded team, and I think, they're not taking any game lightly. But, you can definitely see the pressure of the situation starting to show up here. That's a tough one. I'll say the Lions, but this would be the one where if the Bucks win, it would not surprise me.
Well, I hope they don't surprise you, because I'm going to pull for them too. Last one, it's the marquee matchup of the weekend, and it's the Kansas City Chiefs. They're getting 2.5 points against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo.
Chiefs got a curse on them boys, man. I don't know if it ends here.
Yeah, the Bills got a couple curses on them. But man, I will tell you, I was telling them just about the game, not last year or whenever it was, but might be the greatest football game I've watched in a long time. And I fully expect this one to be just that same kind of caliber.
No, I definitely think it's going to be a great game. I definitely would not be surprised to see the Chiefs run away with this one. That'll be a close one, but I would not be surprised if I see the Chiefs get the win.
So, KJ, congratulations on your rookie season in Washington. I know things didn't go as everybody wants it to, but there's still some linings in the clouds that some changes are coming in Washington. Tell me what the biggest surprise for you in the NFL was. What was the biggest surprise?
I'd probably just say how good everybody is after the starters. Some of the guys that you guys don't get to see or that might be on the bench or whatnot, they are really good players. So I think that's kind of what's forgotten.
Yeah, there's no freebies. There ain't no free seats up there. You got to earn them all.
And so that's been cool to see. Is just the elite level of competition that's happening in order to just put a jersey on, man.
And people talk about this, and it's the speed of the game, and that college football is a lot faster than high school football. What do you think with regard from the transition from college speed to professional speed?
I'd say it's about the same. I don't think it gets any faster, to be completely honest with you. And that might just be where I went to school in Clemson. But, I don't think the speed is necessarily different. I just think you have to be a really smart football player just to be successful in this league, to be completely honest with you. So there's just attention to details and the IQs that some of these players have to have.
It's crazy.
It's second to none.
So I think that the misconception fans have sometimes is, hey, they got it made. They just go out and play on Sundays and then this. Just for a second, talk about how hard it is and all the work that you got to put in.
I mean, we're definitely blessed. Like, we're living out, a dream that a lot of people would love to live out. But at the same time, it's not easy whatsoever. So you just got to earn it. It's something that's got to be earned, and I don't think any of us take it lightly at all. There's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made. So we all know that as well.
So, KJ, we're going to let you wrap up. But before you get out of here on us, I know that right now that the Commanders are looking for a head coach. Are y'all privy to any of that? Do you get to hear who's getting interviewed, or is there a forerunner or a leader that, maybe somebody's thinking it's going to happen?
None at all. When y'all find out on your TVs and your phones, that's when we find out. We never are necessarily, like I said, privy to any of that information. We just kind of go with the flow, do our jobs to the best of our abilities, and when we're told if there's a change in leadership and stuff like that, we find out kind of like everybody else. So we'll know what y'all know.
Man, there's a lot of vacancies out there. It's going to be really interesting to see how it comes. Listen, again, we appreciate you taking time to spend a little time with us real quick and out of your day. And I know you got things going on, but hope you have a great off season. I hope you work hard, you stay healthy, and you get to spend some time with Mother Mary is what I call your grandma, Miss Mary. I grew up right down there beside of her, and just wish you all the best and everything with your career, and just a great off season. Thank you so much for jumping on here with us.
I love you, man.
Don't get no better than that. So it's my last topic, Steve. It's the one that I've been waiting on right here is did anybody hear any complaints this week about the NFL taking stuff off TV if you wasn't on a certain site? So I think that, went off of NBC.
Yeah.
Peacock game. The Peacock game, man. You're talking about some pissed off people.
Oh, yes.
But can you imagine how many people signed up for that one-day trial or that subscription to go watch that game?
I had Peacock.
So I have it on my Fire Stick.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was prepared. But I will tell you this. A week or two before that, on the Bucks game, they got me all tore up. I had to find it and figure it out. But I got it figured out. But I will tell you, that's sad to me. Like, it's sad that everything is in a bidding war and you can't just watch the NFL teams that you want. It's all about that money, ain't it?
It's all about the money.
It's all about the money.
It's all about the money. You're going to get what you pay for. And you take these teams now that's out there, you used to see them every Sunday. Now they moved them to other stations.
And they pick the game, too.
Yes.
They don't pick like,
right.
Atlanta and New Orleans. I mean, they picking the game.
Yeah, it's not Atlanta and Panthers either.
Yeah, the Panthers. Yeah, I'm trying to go easy on the Panther fans. I've been rubbing them a little raw all year, and I don't hate them. I wish them the best, but I will tell you that that's a dynamic that's changing, and I will tell you that there were some upset people about that.
And it's bad to see our owner dashing a drink or something on one of the fans.
Yeah, that was an expensive drink too, wasn't it?
It was, really was.
Yeah, well, $30,000.
Yes.
Man, I'd let him throw that in my face for $30,000.
Yes.
I might bust him up afterwards, but I'd get that 30.
It's just so sad that you got owners to do stuff like that, and it's bad enough when you got to deal with fans to do stuff like that.
Yeah,
over
it's
a
crazy.
Team that you pulling for compared to the team he's pulling for. It's nothing but it should be nothing but a conversation about who you want to win as your team, because I know everybody wants to be a winner.
Yeah,
but everybody can't be a winner.
No, and it takes a little time. You gotta build that. They don't give it to you in the NFL. You gotta earn it. But man, hey, listen, I know you're proud. We had KJ on here, and we appreciate him taking the time to do that today. And I hope y'all got to enjoy listening to that. And we look forward to talking to some more next week or this week, upcoming weekend with the games. They will be here before you know it. Again, it's the Houston Texans versus the Baltimore Ravens, the Packers against the Niners, Kansas City against the Bills, and America's team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, against them Lions.
Well, you know what they say about the American team.
Yeah, I know what they say.
All
I know
right.
exact.
So
Trust
be
me, I've heard
careful
it.
what
I've
you
heard
say.
it. I've heard it. DJ, what you got over there? All right, you good. Hey, we're good. Again, we hope everybody has a great weekend, and I hope that you pull for your teams, and I hope that you give some people a hard time. That's what it's all about. Here in just this much time, the NFL is going to be gone for a year. Don't miss a play. We appreciate you hanging out with us today, Steve.
Yes.
All right, listen, you keep
enjoy
them
it.
straight on that pool table. Don't let that nephew take advantage of you.
Well, sometimes you gotta let him have.
Got to
what he
let him
wants.
win one
Yeah,
here and there.
yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
you gotta let him
All right,
have it.
folks, peace out. We appreciate you. Again, Flips Barbershop Sports Talk. We appreciate it.
Have a blessed
Hope
one.
you bless yourselves and have a great weekend.
WHOS Barbershop Sports Talk, streaming live every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Subscribe today.